So gacha games are a little weird, right? Like it's not just me. Even the gacha games that I like, I have this weird hate-love relationship with them where I love the gameplay or the characters and I hate the monetization and some of the grinding, like it gets on my nerves. Which also makes gacha games unique because in other games I love grinding, like I love JRPGs where I get to see my characters progress slowly over time, and the more time and effort I put into those characters, like the more they'll be usable, you know? I planned on making a Honkai Star Rail like analysis review of the story a while ago, and I had the script written down. I got like 45 minutes into it and I totally forgot about it. And I've been so demotivated to play the game that I feel like there's no real point in me making an analysis where I go back and play the entire game if I'm not going to enjoy it. And I wanted to talk about why that is because I've been seeing a lot in the gacha community, specifically the Honkai Star Rail, like Hoyoverse one, that the enthusiasm for Honkai Star Rail in general has diminished significantly, at least on the YouTube scene, especially after the 3.2 live stream, which is the most recent one as time of me recording this. And I think it's important to talk about because, like, I am really hard to please when it comes to gacha games, and Honkai Star Rail was really lucky because it had a turn-based gameplay system, which I love. I love turn-based systems, and it had a good, compelling hook because I love like space travel, anything to do with space and like different galaxies. I am so there for. So Honkai Star definitely hooked me in. I was first introduced by my lovely girlfriend back in, I think, 1.0 or 1.1. It was close to launch, but by the time I got into it, I think it was already like 1.1. In any case, it started off strong for me, and then it kind of depleted over time, and then it resurged in Penacony, and now I kind of don't want anything to do with it. Which is as funny as it is sad, because I do care about Honkai. I still do, and I want it to do better, but like, man, we need to talk about the newest updates and how the meta is changing. And I'm not a meta girly by any means, but like at some point it does affect me, especially when I really like playing my faves and those faves are absolute garbage. It just doesn't feel good, does it? This power scaling problem has been happening for a while, but it has definitely been sped up and emphasized by the newest version, especially the newest character coming out, who has a global passive and can revive characters even if she's not in your team. I think that is more than a little ridiculous to put that behind a paywall. And I know they're there to make money, but it definitely decreases the value of play knowing that there's a character out there who can almost completely break the game, and there are more characters like her coming out soon. So it's like, what's really the point of playing who I want to play when I know that's not viable, and it's not fun to feel like I'm not gaining any traction in the game just because I have the characters I have and they're old and some of them were useless upon release. Looking at you, Yao Show. But I think any for-profit product like a video game, especially a live service game, should not sacrifice the enjoyment of their game just for monetary purposes, if that makes sense. It feels very, very predatory. And like, I already felt like I was kind of being preyed upon just because I'm playing a gacha game, but now it feels like I really am trying to get pride out of my hard-earned money just because they refuse to make the game more fun, like add mechanics in there that'll make the combat more engaging, or it won't just be like a flashy anime fight fest. It looks like I'm watching a funky show. I feel like I'm having a stroke sometimes when I'm looking at the newest characters and their animations, which look awesome, by the way. I'm not dissing the animations at all. I'm just saying it is very flashy, and you know, they do like 1 billion damage, and like the enemy is like at like I don't know, has like 10% less HP. And all of this has been building up for years, and now I feel like it's like a tipping point. Like, this is a very slippery slope. Like, you don't have the newest character with the newest global passive, then you're gonna be behind. Like, what are you gonna do with your account? What are you gonna do when you're stuck and you have no way out until, waiting for the newest character or waiting for a rerun? Who knows how that's gonna turn out. It's gonna be one hell of a mess. And I feel like they're coding themselves into a corner because they're gonna have to make stronger characters, and then you're going to have to make stronger enemies with more HP that hit harder, and then the older characters are going to be completely forgotten about. I'm sorry. I know that they're gonna buff, like, Blade, love you, Blade, and, like, Seela, and, like, Silverwolf, but, like, how much buffing do you need to do to those characters to be on the same level as, like, I don't know, an Acheron, or what was the newest one? A Fei Xiao? Yeah. A Fei Xiao. Well, I'm sorry. It really doesn't help that the game is kind of like a button mashing fest if you're actually playing it. Like, I know people complained in the beginning about the auto mode, but I really don't mind it, especially for the grinding. I wish Genshin had that. When I played Genshin, like, I don't know, 2 years ago, oh my god, it was such a headache having to manually grind the same fights over and over again, so I actually like the auto system. But now it feels like you can just, like, pop the auto system on and just let the game play itself, which I really don't like, especially not for a turn-based RPG, which is supposed to be more focused on, like, logic instead of in real time reaction. And now I'm really scared because I feel like now it's going to for sure mainly be like a mindless kind of game where you just let it play itself, or you look at the pretty colors, and it's just really frustrating because I really did enjoy the gameplay in the first like few patches. Another glaring issue that makes me way more upset than the gameplay, and is what like drew me in the first place, is the story. I really liked was it Bellabog? Bellabog was really good. Heard of Space Station was a good introductory, but it's not like the most impressive thing in the world. The Zhanzhou was kind of a mess. Uh, I guess it got expanded on a little bit more the second time we went there, but it was just kind of like, it was a bad first impression, so I was not really looking forward to going back there. And Penacony, I was really excited for Penacony, and on paper, I love Penacony. Like, this dream world based on like 1920s America and like New York and all the big cities back then during like the Prohibition and stuff. I think that's really interesting, especially with the families. But I feel like Penacony for sure displayed the problem with the dialogue bloat in Honkai, which is honestly really bad. It might be a little worse than Genshin sometimes because you have these characters who shouldn't be like really wordy or flowery, talking in such long, drawn out paragraphs that it sounds like it's coming from like a Shakespearean sonata. And I don't understand why the characters talk like that, other than they want to expand the runtime and make it feel like they're talking about something significant when they're not. Like, for instance, I get why Sunday for sure speaks like that, and I get why Acheron speaks like that. She's like super fucking old. But I do not understand why they make Boot Hill go on these long monologues, using these words that I feel like he wouldn't use. And it's kind of confusing because sometimes all these characters speak the exact same way. And for a dialogue heavy game, I feel like that is a big misstep. And it doesn't need to happen, which is the craziest thing. Like, you don't need to have these long monologues to get your point across. Penacony especially has these long monologues, excuse me, where they just go on about nothing, and then you get like a lot of action at one time, and then it's back to long monologues and like walking around. Some parts I do understand, like the whole adventuring and Sunday confrontation, I really enjoyed that, and that was just a bunch of characters just talking back and forth in long, drawn out sentences. In that case, it worked because the conversation was engaging, but not every conversation in Honkai, actually, most of them are not that engaging at all. And it was way worse in Genshin, because, like, oh my god, the conversations in Genshin were actually so tedious to sit through and you couldn't skip it, and they were just regurgitating the same thing over and over again, but like in different ways. I felt like I was going insane, but I was hoping that Honkai might be a little different, and it is a little better at managing the conversations and not making them go on for too long. But like sometimes I really get tired of all these characters waxing philosophically over and over again. It gets really draining sometimes, so that's why, like, characters like Boot Hill for me were pretty refreshing. It was, like, very straight and to the point, but even then, he gets caught in the crossfire. And for me, not having an engaging story really puts the nail in the coffin that the meta game already built up, and, you know, I feel like we're all just a little frustrated because we've been seeing these issues build up for a long time, and there's, like, really nothing we can do about it except for, you know, whine and complain, which is what I'm doing. So maybe, hopefully, they change something, unlike Genshin, which has just been, like, in a downward slope since launch. Another game that I was with since the beginning, and I just went downhill. And I'd like to know you guys' thoughts on this, because I know a lot of people have a lot of different opinions, and I would not mind hearing from someone who is completely different to me, because I know I am a heavy favorite character over meta player, and I feel like a lot of people are like that, but I know that there are a lot of other people who play the opposite of me, and that's okay. I really don't mind. It's just really frustrating to me, and it's kind of cathartic talking about it, because, like, who the hell else am I gonna talk to about this other than my other, like, deranged friends who are mentally ill about a gotcha game in space? Well, let me know your thoughts in the comments, or you can just keep it to yourself. I don't really mind. And I'll probably make an actual art video next time. So I'll see you then if you want to see another speed paint commentary, and then also I'll be doing a review of one of my favorite animes, and I'm like halfway through the script, but I need to watch the second season, and I hate the second season, so that's gonna be fun. Either way, I'm gonna be back here, and I hope you have a great day. Bye!